Hello and welcome to a new video here on my channel here at commaik. In this video I would like to show you how I set up my new Reolink. I am installing the Reolink RC810A at my house. I will show you how I connect the surveillance camera to the network connect and how to set up the camera in the phone app on the computer client and the NVR. When you carefully and thoroughly follow these step-by-step detailed instructions and precisely ensure that everything is set up correctly and efficiently. If you want to know how this works, stay tuned. It's about to start for the surveillance of my... In the past, I have used cameras from TrendNet and Hikvision on the property. The cameras were connected to my QNAP NAS. Since my QNAP TS251 had to process a total of 9 cameras, he was simply overwhelmed by the transition to the new cameras with a higher resolution. I therefore bought an NVR RLN36. This is a network video recorder, the Reolink RLN36. I have already set it up and installed the new Reolink cameras, the corresponding video. You can find linked in the corner above. There you can watch how to set up the Reolink NVR setup and how you can access the video recordings. However, there were many questions about this video. Among other things, I was often asked how I can add a new camera to the network, how I can then connect the camera to the network recorder. You wanted to know how I can connect the camera via the browser, the client, or with the app on the phone. I will answer questions in this video. I will show you how I set up my new camera install. The Reolink RC810A is an outdoor surveillance camera with a resolution of 8 megapixel. The camera can be powered with a standard power adapter via the corresponding connection. The cable harness can be operated at the same time. Operation via PoE is also possible. PoE means power over Ethernet. The power supply is provided through the network cable. This means that an already installed network cable can be used and you do not require any additional equipment or tools. Power supply is required. Data transmission and power supply are carried out via the normal network cable. In order for the power to reach the camera at the end of the cable, it must of course be fed on the other side. For this, you need a PoE capable switch or a device that is specifically designed and manufactured to handle PoE efficiently. PoE injectors that supply power into the network cable. If you have the appropriate ones, to search for devices, check the video description below. There I have listed the components linked that I use myself. The camera is quite handy and manageable in size. My old TrendNet camera is a bit smaller and also lighter. The Reolink RC810A. The device has an aluminum housing and features sturdy and durable infrared LEDs next to the camera lens on the front, carefully and meticulously designed with precision and attention to detail. To illuminate the area at night, on the back there is a card slot for a micro SD card. The recordings of the camera, alarm recording or 24/7 continuous recording, can be stored directly on the camera. You do not need a video recorder nor a computer. And also no NAS. The recordings can only be made through the camera. With the data from the camera can be accessed at any time via the app, the browser or the client. Works very well. I use the SD card and the NVR in parallel. If one of the storage media, in the event that I encounter a failure, I can still reliably access the alternative storage option. Therefore, as a precaution, I have decided to utilize an SD card for storage purposes, insert it into the camera and initialize it. After that, I will install the camera on the NVR. But enough of the many words and announcements. How do I install a PoE camera in the network? In essence, basically, you need a network cable that comes from your PoE switch or the PoE enabled device. The NVR or the PoE injector is placed where the camera will be installed later. The camera can be mounted on the exterior of a building, for example, directly above the borehole that was drilled into the interior of the building. However, you should please kindly take into consideration that the cable harness of the camera is relatively thick at the end. Everything must extend through the drill hole into the interior of the building. The length should be sufficient. A 36cm thick wall is not a problem. However, I am not a fan of it. I have installed empty conduits on the exterior of the facade and attached special connection boxes at the ends. The camera can then be directly attached to the socket. I will show you that later. In the socket, the network cable can then be securely and firmly connected to the LAN port of the camera. The other end of the network cable is then connected to the switch in the house. The PoE switch is a network switch that not only distributes data signal but also provides power for the LAN connections. The following question has often come up. Achieved, does the PoE camera need to be connected directly to the NVR or the NAS? No, that is not necessary. With the cameras from Reolink, it is easy to use the cameras behind a switch, behind a router, or to set up multiple devices in this way. I have several different types of access points in the network where various different types of 3 switches are interconnected. The camera was only connected after the 3rd switch. I can use it fine, access the camera from any computer that is on the same network. The NVR is not in my office anymore, but in the basement. The NVR is only connected to the home network. I can also seamlessly and securely access the NVR with any device on the same network. This also works with my mobile phones on which I have the Reolink app. I have installed it. I will now open the back of the camera and insert the SD card. After that, I'll register the camera in the phone app and do that here at the desk. When I mount the camera on the house wall, I am at a height of approximately 4 to 5 meters at the top of the ladder and needs to properly adjust the camera's viewing angle. That's where it gets tricky. It makes sense to check the alignment of the camera while you are up on the ladder during the installation. In my opinion, it absolutely makes sense to set up the camera in advance on the mobile phone. Then I can see on the screen what the camera is recording and adjust the viewing angle correctly. Align. The further settings such as alarm monitoring, image settings, or I can easily do the recording later. I will now open the back of the camera and install the SD card. Then I will show you how I set up the camera in the app. I will install it, then replace the TrendNet camera with it, replace on my house front facade area. Finally, I will set up the camera on the client and setting up the NVR. But before I get started, I have a request for you. If you like my video, so take this opportunity and click on like below. I would be really happy about that. It brings me and my channel forward. If you have questions, suggestions, criticism or feedback, no problem. Write to me in the comment section under the video. I will respond as quickly as possible. I can. Interested in the products and want your own video surveillance system. If you want to install it, then check the video description below. There I have provided you with the camera, the NVR and all other components linked. In the description, you will also find some links to the manufacturers and the installation instructions. Maybe there is something suitable for you as well. Before I activate the camera on my phone, I will first set the passwords and perform a short functionality test. For this, it offers, in my opinion, the client is better suited than the phone. The screen is on the client, larger. When I started the client, it automatically recognized the new camera. Just click on the camera and the system automatically prompts for the assignment of a new password. Now all that is missing is a name for the camera. The name can indeed be changed later on if you prefer. The camera is currently ready for use. I will now also connect the camera with my phone app. After that, the camera can be mounted on the house wall. When I start the app on my phone, WLAN Wi-Fi, the new camera is automatically recognized. In the image, I always see the last used camera. I can navigate through the menu all the way to the end. Scroll down and get the new camera. Here is the new camera with I see the name Terrace Carport. I click on the camera. The default username it has already been set. I just need to enter the password that I just assigned on the client. As soon as I have entered the password, the live image from the camera is displayed to me. I can switch directly to the camera and adjust the image quality, for example, as I need it. Since I can now also access the camera through my phone, it's time to attach the Reolink RC810A to the house wall. For this, I will first carefully and meticulously dismantle the old camera with utmost care, securely and firmly attach the new camera to the base and adjust the viewing angle precisely and accurately with precision.
After the NVR has completed its boot process, I land directly on the Homepage with an overview of all cameras. I have selected the single view and the new camera. Clicked. I receive an error message because the camera cannot be logged in. The password is missing. I change this by clicking on the blue link to log in. The login page is now displayed to me automatically. The name of the camera is also pre-filled here by Reolink. I just need to enter the password. The input is done exclusively on the NVR using the mouse is connected to the NVR. Unfortunately, keyboard input is not possible. The Reolink RC810A is mounted on my house wall and provides me with great live images of my garden. The recording, I can view it via the SD card or I access the network video recorder. My Reolink RLN36 back through the app, the client or the browser. I can access the recordings to view all my cameras at any time. If you feel like setting up your own surveillance system to build, just take a look at my video in the description. All components, I have linked the camera and the NVR there for you. If you order through my links, my channel receives a small commission at the same price for you. Additionally, I have provided you with the links to the manufacturer's instructions are written in the video description. The link to my one video in which I show you how to set up an NVR for the first time or for the third video. Find settings in playlist. Did you like this video? Did it help you? Give me a thumbs up, give me a like. Write your questions in the comment section. I will respond to you as quickly as possible. If you want to know what I have planned next, I'll just say fiber optic connection, then subscribe my channel. Click the subscribe button at the bottom right so you don't miss the new videos. I am already looking forward to having you back and say goodbye.